All right, here's how to sell anything to anyone by training this one thing for 15 minutes every day. Okay, so this is how you get better at sales. And sales is the master skill in business, but not just business, but also in life. Like if you want to get people rallied behind you, rallied in the vision, in the direction of your vision, if you want to get your spouse to go to dinner where you want to go, if you want to get your kids to listen to you and clean up their room, it's all sales. It's all sales at the end of the day. But I want to talk about this through the lens of like business. If you want to be successful in business, you have to become a master salesperson because nothing in business happens until a sale is made. That's it. Full stop. Your business exists to make money and to serve people. You serve them in exchange for the money. If you can't get them to do that, you don't have a business. So you got to learn this skill. You have to learn sales. You can't outsource it. You can't just rely on other people to do it for you. You have to become very good at this. Now, in the modern era where we are at this moment in time with the proclivity of social media and the access that we have to thousands of prospective buyers at arm's reach just on Instagram or LinkedIn or on Facebook, the most powerful way to grow your business right now is through digital door knocking, aka sliding into the DMs. But not like that, you weirdo. So if you were to go on the LinkedIn right now, if you're a lawn care, let's say you're an architect for like high-end lawn design, right? I worked as a landscaper back in my 20s. Worst job I ever had, but it was pretty interesting in the sense that we did high-end lawn architecting for wealthy people, right? So how do you find these people? Well, you could go find wealthy people in your area. You could look up based off of your geography. You could then look up people who have really high paying jobs like a lawyer or a CPA, right? Or doctors, right? You go find them on LinkedIn and just DM them. You could just have a conversation. You don't have to actually go knock on their door in their neighborhood. You could do that, but you don't have to, right? That's how I started, was actually knocking on doors. But these days you have access to them by just knocking on their email, knocking on their DM. So this was given rise to a technique called sell by chat. A lot of people are using this where you just go and you just initiate a conversation with a stranger. Maybe they've engaged with some of your content. Maybe they're just a cold outreach and they don't have any clue who you are, right? But how do you engage that person into a conversation that could potentially lead to a sale? That is the question. And the tool that I want to recommend to you today is a little thing that you might have heard of called ChatGPT. So how does ChatGPT help us make sales in the DMs? It's not how you think. A lot of people, they get this wrong. What they're doing with their AI is they're using AI to have the conversation on your behalf. Right? A lot of people are just going into the DMs and they're just copy pasting the same bullshit lines over and over and over that ChatGPT tells them to say. And it's like ChatGPT, they're trying to use that as the salesperson. That's not how I want you to use this tool. How I want you to use this tool is to refine your skills and become a better salesperson by trying to sell ChatGPT as though it were your prospect. So what you do is you go to ChatGPT and you train it. You tell it, hey, I want you to pretend like you are a prospect. I sell this thing. This is how I do it. This is the type of people that I sell to. These are the type of people who I would be engaging with in the DMs. And I want you to pretend like you are my sales trainer. And we are going to have a conversation. And I'm going to pretend like you are a prospect and I'm going to try and sell you. And what you're going to do is you're going to give me feedback. You're going to engage with me. And then when I give you answers, you're going to break it down and you're going to say, here's what you did well. Here's what you could have done better. Here's another way that you could have phrased this. Now try taking the conversation in this direction. Here's how you lead it towards the next point, right? And you go through this motion with ChatGPT. And for the first 3 to 5 reps that you do this, you're going to get a lot of really good feedback about what you're doing, where you're not pressing on the pain points, where you're not stretching the gap, where you're not making them sit in the pain, or how you're not actually presenting your product as a solution to the problems that they have expressed, right? You're going to get a lot of really good data from ChatGPT. And then you're going to take the training wheels off. Now you're going to go to ChatGPT and say, okay, cool. Now we're going to do 3 runs. And I'm going to go from beginning to end and try and sell you. You're not going to give me any feedback. You're just going to engage with me like a prospect. And then you're going to save all your feedback until the very, very end, right? So now you're not getting real-time feedback as you're responding to the conversation with ChatGPT. Now you're just trying to sell it. Now the value of this is a lot of times when we're doing sales with strangers, whether you're knocking on a door, you're sliding into the DMs, you're getting on a cold call, is you don't really know where you lost the sale. You might have a theory. Oh, I said this and that way. I lost them here. They kind of tuned out, but you don't really know. And the prospect isn't going to tell you. They don't even have the awareness, even if they could. Like, they don't know why. They just suddenly they're like, nope, this isn't a good fit for me anymore, right? The value of selling ChatGPT is it will tell you where you are sucking and where you are losing them, right? And then you can refine that. And this will accelerate your learning capacity or your learning speed drastically, because let's say you were to do 10 conversations a day in the DMs, and maybe 3 of them only ever made it to the point where you could even stretch the gap. And another 3 only ever made it to the point where you could start to even pitch your product as a solution. And maybe another 3 only ever made it to the very end where you can make the offer, right? That's not a ton of reps having gone through. You had 10 conversations, but only 3 went the full distance to making an offer. But in 15 minutes of practice every single morning of skills and drills with ChatGPT, you just sit down before you start your session, before you start sliding into DMs, you sit down with ChatGPT first and say, okay, we're going to do 3 dry runs. And you just bang, 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 bang. Cool. Get your feedback. Bang, 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 bang. Get your feedback. Cool. Now, after you do that, you can go and try and sell those strangers, and you're going to have a way higher conversion rate. I promise you. That is the secret to becoming a really good salesperson, is doing reps. And if you don't have somebody that you can role play with, if you can practice with, like if you have an actual trainer, a coach that will sit down and do this with you, fantastic. Use it. However, for $20 a month, you can use ChatGPT. It'll get you 90% of the way there, and it'll make you a killer. So that is how you can learn to sell anything to anyone in just 15 minutes a day. Use it or lose it. See you guys in the next episode.